Last time on the Great Ace Attorney 2.
The Professor's acts of terror threw London's upper classes into complete panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, and since the killer's identity was never made public, rumors abounded. No killer had ever before systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder.
Could there have been some reason why only the head wasn't returned? Whatever the reason, it means we don't know what the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? There's something caught just inside the convict's jacket here. It looks like a piece of broken glass. We've seen a large glass building recently, haven't we? And some of the glass was broken too.
You don't mean...
Guys, they figured it out.
Exactly. The Crystal Tower at the Great Exhibition.
What the bleeding Noro? What have you got done?
Gina, what are you doing here?
Bleeding!
Oh no. Oh no.
I asked Iris and she said this is where you'd be. So...
Flag.
Gina, that's so loud at the museum. Sorry, I got scared.
So, what brings you here, Gina?
We found it. We found that dodgy cow's workshop.
You found Drebber's workshop?
Yep, Toby's nose took me straight there.
That looks like...
It's another super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Indeed, it would appear so.
So, Inspector, is there any side of the engineer?
Sadly not. We didn't find a soul in here. According to what Gina tells me, we only found it thanks to a clue you lot turned up. Anyway, if you're hoping to snoop around in here, I'd get cracking. It's a European-style quiver of arrows. Crossbow bolts, these.
Oh, there we go.
And just the right size for the bow you lot turned up at the exhibition grounds. That's more evidence to support your theory. This door doesn't want to open. There's a specialist locksmith on his way over from the yard, so hands off till he gets here.
With permission, Inspector, I could have that lock open in less than a minute.
Well, you don't have my permission, and no one's given it to you.
Well, there's no sound of anybody on the other side. Oh,
Is something wrong, Mr. Zato?
I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door.
Right, mind the grease.
We're going to have a professional locksmith come over. Hold on a sec, I need to knock this door down.
Whoever's in there, open up. It's the Scottish Yard.
There's a strong possibility that beyond that door is the engineer you all seek. Be prepared for action, my dear fellow.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Disillusion Plays the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we play the games and do the voices.
Yes.
I'm Taylor.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Sarah.
Nice. And then, just before we do hop on in, if you do like what we do, why don't you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then ring the bell to receive notifications about when we post future content.
Oh dear, Rianosuke's got a headache coming on.
And straight away, we've got a great deduction.
There was a pause. I was like, did I say it in the wrong order?
Oh, no,
Did
no.
I do something wrong?
Yeah. You didn't say it wrong.
No.
It's all good. I don't think.
Okay. And leave a comment if you want to.
I wasn't paying attention, if I'm honest. I just presumed it was all good.
Oh, dear.
was-
Here we go. I feel a great deduction coming.
It's like, is that Taylor talking, or is it Rianosuke? We will
think
never
it was
know.
Taylor
You'll
to
never
start
know,
with.
will you?
Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Dreber himself.
Oh, but how could you?
And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is, without question, completely genuine.
Please, Mr. Jones, you must explain everything.
Did he say that bomb was genuine?
It would be a pleasure.
Mr. Zato, please stop encouraging him.
Cue the music and the spotlights, Iris.
Wait a minute, Early, I'm not ready!
After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scottish Yard the finer points of the trade.
Oh dear!
Oh no! I like that face. It's so grumpy.
Well, Inspector Gregson seems delighted with the idea, anyway.
This is the last time I do
all.
any favors.
Oh dear, poor Gregson.
Oh dear. Oh, You deflected the inspector's stare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done.
Oh, well, I mean, it's only natural. You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you.
Oh, for pity's sake.
It's like, kindly stand.
Stop.
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 Stop there, so I may examine you.
Kindly stand just there, Mr. Sato.
I mean, you guys are supposed to be teaching me how to say British words. So, if you're going to throw off my pronunciation.
Hey, I wouldn't use us as a role model.
As a reference, no.
As a rule.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I said it wrong. I know. I know.
It was more Taylor pointing it out as well. The double L. I'm sorry, Jeremy.
I'm leaving now.
Oh, no. How will ever voice... Oh, yes, I'll be delighted. It's not got the same ring.
It's like I'd not left the room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh! Are you quite right? Oh, right, Mr. Sholmes.
Yeah, it's just like, I just needed to scream for a second.
Okay. Can you scream?
Sorry, John.
Can you scream more quietly? Yes, I'd be delighted. That's it. Stand right where the bomb is. I mean, the display model bomb.
So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes... Wait, sorry. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Sorry, neighbours.
I know, I wanted to do it just that one time. The game is afoot, as opposed to a hand or anything else. And I know it's a quote. I just like the idea because the game is afoot. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray, and you can really see Mrs. Sato's excitement there. She's like, oh, I'm in a deduction.
Look, Mum, I'm on the telly.
The bed, the table, and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down.
I love how he has made us stand next to the bomb, though.
Almost as if every item in the room had, until recently, been happily positioned upon the ceiling, before falling straight down onto the floor.
Every item in the room was on the ceiling? Are you suggesting that... Oh, there's the number for the safe.
What?
Oh. Oh, it seems to spell Leon. Strange. Indeed. The key here
Oh, yes. Where's the best place to
Is-
leave that number? Oh, yes, on the underside of the table. Oh, look there.
is gravity.
Mr. Sholmes, how are you doing this?
Well,
What is happening?
it would appear that technology has at last succeeded in
Susano's wigging out. She's like, am I hallucinating?
in freeing us from the great pull of the Earth.
Oh, this is just my anti-gravity gun, Susie. Don't worry.
For the gravity in this room was reversed, and then suddenly restored to normality.
Goodness!
I know. It's impressive, isn't it? The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. I quite understand your skepticism, Mr. Sato. I, too, was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. An anti-gravity device, almost identical to one that featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact.
Ah, yes, I can imagine that dream was very explosive, Mr. Sholmes. But then why does it have a clock on it?
Presumably, I'm going to say that because it only activates at a precise time. A most relevant question indeed. That is a... Well, there you go. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred.
Oh, Hurley, you've been reading the science fiction books again, haven't you?
Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. So you see, we need look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. The direction in which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I have witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed.
I think that was more a moment of perspective there.
Yes, I can't
Shows.
imagine why he had that particular dream. Yeah.
Oh, topic 2. Because gravity was reversed. Topic 2. Missing engineer.
Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads.
Yes. How is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way into this room. Excepting the skylight, that is. Oh! By inverting the gravity in here, Dreber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way.
But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen up to the ceiling rather violently?
Mr. Sato, I would ask that you don't interrupt me while I'm doing a deduction, please.
Oh, sorry.
I don't need your logic and reasoning. I'm doing the logic and reasoning
I
spectacular.
think you'll
Thank
find
you.
you always need our logic and reasoning, Mr. Sholmes.
I think that sounds a little bit like slander.
We do always have to correct you.
I like to think of it as a slight guide to the. I don't know where I'm going with that.
A slight nudge in the right direction
Yes.
towards the truth.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry, Miss Susato. Is your hero not all he's cracked up to be?
Don't you start, I'll hit you with the shovel.
You mean the spade?
Don't start this again. Or I'll hit you with a stepladder instead.
Oh no!
I think you mean a ladder.
Don't test me, Mr. Naruhodo.
If you're both quite finished,
No, we're not.
falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. His only option? You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope!
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Dreber was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled by the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun.
In fact, by my calculations, that device should go off in 3, 2...
So, what did you all think? Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle.
And now time to correct everything you've just said.
Oh, I've heard a lark or two before, but that was...
Hurley, you are
Words
joking,
fail
aren't
me.
you?
You are joking, aren't you, Sholmes? Oh, there we go. Gina just
I
wasn't.
wasn't even paying attention, if I'm honest.
Like, honest,
Lem.
I checked out after the first few moments.
Lem. Lem. She's completely spellbound.
Which is weird because she was literally raising points of contention like during the deduction, so...
Mr. Sholmes, there is just 1 or 5 or 11 things that troubles me.
Oh, yes. I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life.
The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean?
Stranger things have happened. Rumor has it it's possible that there might be a group of spirit mediums establishing some sort of cult in the city somewhere. I imagine that won't lead to anything. I would say that with a man's current scientific knowledge, at the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis.
We've already proved that theory doesn't work, Hurley. We've already destroyed a man's dream with that one.
Well, I'd rather you didn't destroy my dream, thank you.
No, you've done that by yourself.
Oh, dear.
But your whole deduction hinges on it!
Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, how crazy or nonsensical it may be, must be the truth. However improbable it may seem. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy.
Yes, I have a feeling I've read it in something that Miss Susato lent me once. Objection!
Oh, objection! Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh?
Ah, the spell's broken at last.
The rope you found on the floor, wasn't it? The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it?
Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall.
But if Mr. Drebber had used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall?
See, I imagine that he could have had it tied to the... He will have maybe had it threaded through the window or something, and he's pulled himself up, and then he's just sort of like thrown it back into the room, or...
Probably.
You know, something like that. Tied to the wall seems a bit weird. I suppose when you say it like that... Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end. As I think you'll find, do ropes. Oh, yes, that's quite a good one. And as evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery we faced in this room, now skillfully unraveled. Yes.
That argument is as circular as the coils of rope.
I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand.
Do I detect you two conspiring against me?
Oh, no.
Honestly.
No. We just want to go over the case one more time, just to hear your brilliant deduction again, and just maybe point out a few things.
Well, I suppose I trust you. You are my delightfully trusted Eastern friends, of course. So
Yes, that's right.
yes.
I'm sure with some minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth.
Oh, I like it when you say it like that.
Yes, you're right. And we must do it quickly before Enoch Drebber gets too far away.
If you're ready, then let us resume. And I will proceed to say all of the stuff again. Herlock Sholmes, logic and reasoning spectacular!
Hurley, we're
I'll
running
forget.
out of light bulbs. Make this one quick.
It's like, we're running out of phosphorus. Is expensive. Or oil, perhaps. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray.
Gas.
Gas. The bed, the table, and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had until recently been happily positioned on the ceiling before falling straight down onto the floor.
Every item in the room was on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that...
Oh, yes. Indeed, the key here is gravity.
No, not again.
It would appear that
Hallucinating again.
technology, it would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the earth.
Mr. Sholmes, what happened to your voice?
I have no idea, Mr. Sato, for the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality.
Goodness!
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business.
To think gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling.
Well, I find his deduction utterly appalling.
Oh, snap!
Sick
Boom!
burns, yo. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation.
I believe you are correct in that, Miss Susato. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation. But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so...
I mean, if not Sholmes, then perhaps some sort of writer or something, maybe.
Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once.
Ooh, that's unusually merciless of you, Miss Susato.
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he?
I'd like you to know that I can hear you.
I know, it was intentional.
Oh. Oh dear.
While refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices.
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing.
Alrighty then. So, Oh, that'll do
the
it.
vase. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably that. Take that.
Take that!
Kaboom!
The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business.
A tiny little bit of Luke at me almost, and they're like, oh yes, I'm now going to do my big head moment. Just amusement. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you've surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps?
Iris, get that spotlight off me right now. I'm feeling a bit exposed.
No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes. Trust me.
I do hope not, because I've only got enough bulbs for a few more. I didn't realise you were joining in, Bruno, as well.
As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down, I happen to not notice this vase for some reason. This unassuming slender vase is standing keenly to attention. Wink. And unlike the large safe, there is nothing affixing it to the floor.
And it's the exception that breaks the rule.
In short, much as it pains me, I would like you to know how much it pains me. The gravity in this room was never inverted at all.
My deepest sympathies for your loss.
Oh, poor Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, do get a grip, Miss Susato.
But the show...
Right.
The show must go on. So, let us continue with our deductions. Ahem.
Bomb!
Now that we know this contrivance is in fact not an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. An alarm clock.
Oh, bother. You don't say.
The face.
Mr. Naruhodo, do you see it floating as well, or is it just me?
No, I see it as well.
Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound... Oh, sorry.
Which might sound like my line, but if somebody doesn't look at the title...
Screw you!
Which might...
Me.
Which...
Me.
Now, children.
Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that?
Oh my goodness, it hurts. quite. And naturally, there is an explanation.
Oh, goody.
Yes. The reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device.
He couldn't remember which thing he'd put the safe code under.
Yeah.
He's absolutely determined poison! He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he?
I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong.
Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all the furniture over. So whoever it was must have had a reason.
I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though.
I mean, not that huge text on the bottom of the chair. Oh, gosh.
Excuse me. Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself.
Alrighty, so, I don't know, guys. Wow, I like how literally just goes zoom, straight there. I mean, nothing like stands
I'm not seeing
out.
anything.
I mean,
Nah.
we can't move the camera
No.
up or down.
Nah, not seeing out.
I don't know. I mean, it couldn't possibly be. Is it? Do you think it was something on the bottom of this chair, maybe?
I mean,
Could be.
I'm not
Could
quite
be.
sure where you're going with this, if I'm honest.
Let's have a look. Oh,
Take
wouldn't you
that!
know it? A Scythe combination?
The combination. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination.
Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you had a very similar experience once. Did you not?
Yes! Last year, when I bought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book, just in case.
That's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart. Frickin' tell me about it. And always make a written note of important information.
Just keeping the ticket itself. Sorry. Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think.
And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Naruhodo? You may notice my
Nothing.
smug expression. Smug, 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 smug.
When the day of the draw came round, I'd forgotten
The
which
book in
I'd
which
written
you
the
opened
number
the
in
book.
and had to turn my room upside down to find it.
Oopsie daisy. That's it. I've come up with a new recipe. For people are forgetful souls at heart and always forget where they've noted things down. I'm terrible for it. That's why I have a small child assistant.
Not if you always note things in the same place.
Well,
Well, not everyone has a book of infinite capacity carrying around with them, Mrs. Atto.
a book of holding.
She's got the sleeve of holding.
It's actually just all of the books are the same. They look well, they've got different contents, but they all look the same. She's actually got like 100 books up there or something.
That's just part of the illusion.
She could have them color-coded, though, so she doesn't forget.
Every time she pulls a book out, it's blue.
Might be
It's
a little mark somewhere. That
Inside the book, maybe.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, maybe.
I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I'd slipped the ticket into, so I had to turn my room
Thank
upside...
you, Mr. Naruhodo, but I believe I've proved my point now.
You stole it, didn't you?
No. Which that sounds a
I
little
mean, we
bit
did
like.
eat well that week. I
That-
was wondering where he got the money from.
I think that sounds a little bit like slander, and I think you'll find that actually I temporarily pawned my Stradivarius to the pawnbroker again. Thank you.
Hurley, you were playing your Stradivarius while we were guzzling down Fargois.
No. I assure you that was but a normal violin. That was not a Stradivarius.
that was your Stradivarius, Hurley. We've been through this. If you don't have your Stradivarius, you don't have your musical flow, and then you get grumpy. Busted!
Now that was a proper logic and reasoning spectacular.
Ah, thank you. I'm not just the spotlight holder, you know.
Oh, God. Even everybody around me hates me. Oh, woe is me. How will I ever recover from
here
this?
we go.
How could I possibly live with such hooligans who just hate everything that I do? Can't they see that I do it for them?
Hurley, I've paid this month's rent. You don't have to worry about it. Does that make you happy?
This is quite surprising. How on earth did you manage that?
I have my ways.
Well, it's very impressive, and I do wish you'd teach them to me sometime. That way I wouldn't have to pawn my Stradivarius so that we can all eat.
A girl has her secrets.
Which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded in this room.
Sorry, I just derailed everything there, didn't I?
I just didn't know how to respond to that.
It's okay.
Her secret cookie recipe.
Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code.
Or perhaps lemonade. Lemonade.
He remembered that he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one.
Lemonade.
Yeah, like Iris's like special secret. She makes really good lemonade that everyone buys.
Oh.
Or cookies.
I was just like, what? What the?
What the
where's this
actual F?
Where's this conversation going?
Okay. Okay.
Leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yes, Mr. Drebber overturned all the furniture in here in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. Although I must say that I am rather dismayed about the whole lack of anti-gravity thing.
All right, let's have a butcher's in the safe then.
Well, I think you'll find it'll probably be empty. Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads. Yee. Let's just start it. Yee. Sorry. I'm sorry. I got carried away.
It's okay.
Yes. How is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight.
Well, if a change in the direction of gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get there?
Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve.
I can't think of any other way to explain it at all.
What if he got a wooden sword and then jumped up on it?
Oh, no, that's Danganronpa all over again with Pekka.
Oh,
With the shower.
yeah.
With the
I'm like, wait, what is this reference? Perhaps he just like...
He needed a carny to give him
After
a
all,
boost.
people are forgetful creatures and forget the games that they played.
Maybe he's got a special... Maybe he's got a special device. You know how he's got the anti-gravity device? Maybe he actually has something else, and he used that device to take a door, for example, lay it flat on the floor, stand on top of the door, and then use the device to raise the gravity of the door and float out of the room.
It's like the brilliant Herlock Sholmes is in the room with me.
It's absolutely not prop riding or whatever it was called. What was it called? It's like, you used to do it in like Gary's mod way back in the day.
Oh,
Prop
crap.
surfing. Prop surfing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You'd like ride on a door or a chair or something.
That's a blast from the past.
Anyway.
Anywho. Oh, life was so much simpler in those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed.
It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place.
Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail.
Yes.
Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us into these situations in the first place. Balin.
Do we think the Balin is hiding anything? What happens if I rotate the Oh,
a shoe.
a shoe.
A shoe?
And the balloon and a shoe.
He floated to the ceiling on the balloon.
No way. What? No way. Like,
This is a gas balloon, isn't it? It's tiny, but it does seem to be a real balloon.
Yes, I think you're right. I think it's helium that's keeping it up.
Oh my god. I was going to joke at the start. It's like, yes, he escaped on the balloon. But he actually did. A green gas balloon. Why does that seem to ring a bell with me? Like you should ring the bell if you want to get notified about when we post future content.
Oh, and hit the subscribe button.
Nice plug there.
Oh, yeah.
If you can see, there are footprints on this balloon too. Look.
Oh, yes. Surely that's a clue, isn't it? Though, what it tells us, I'm not sure.
All right, so there's
I think we got to get to the shoe. The shoe. It's hard to believe, but there's a shoe up there. Look!
Oh, yes. And there are more footprints on this little balloon too. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became lodged, do you think?
If so, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times. Why would anyone be throwing shoes up at the ceiling, though?
Oh, dear. That's beyond me, I'm afraid.
I'm going to be honest. I'm a little perplexed on that one. So I guess...
Did you present the shoe?
No, I didn't. I mean, I could. I'm just like, can we investigate anything else? There has to be a reason there are footprints on the ceiling. Is it because of the nearby... Is it...
Oh, the reason is because he was throwing the shoe up at the ceiling. That's the reason you have to present the shoe.
Yeah.
Take that!
I'm just like, why? Sorry, I'm so distracted with the why.
Is it to create a diversion? To make them
Might
think
have
that, like, he's escaped through there, and maybe he's hiding in the safe.
Oh, God.
Maybe. Or maybe the safe has a secret passageway.
All that.
Into a safe room, you
All
might
that,
say.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, my God. If he is in the safe, though, you'd think that he'd, like, suffocate.
Well, he's an engineer. He's probably got some kind of breathing hole.
Yeah.
The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe.
And on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the Ballon as well.
Ballon.
In other words, the aim...
Ballon?
Yeah. The aim was never the skylight at all, but the Ballon. The balloon.
But for what purpose?
Oh, dear. A green balloon. That seems somewhat familiar data.
Ah!
It was a piece of the green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene.
I still find the idea of it being the balloon's envelope. Like, what? It's just strange that that's the term.
Envelops the...
Yeah, I know.
I guess.
It's still strange to me.
And inside the green balloon that Master Gotz claims he saw above the stage when this incident occurred was the second birdcage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception.
Who's that guy in there? Is that Professor Layton? What's he doing in the balloon?
You mean to say... Shelms?
I don't know what happened there. Sorry. If we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day,
Sholmes broke.
Sholmes.exe stopped working. There is a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it.
Was he trying to pop it? Like make it explode?
Maybe. Something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway.
But the balloon's out of reach.
Hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe.
Ah!
Most probably, Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with the shoe, although you'll notice that his shoe is quite rounded and not pointed at all, and so is at quite the disadvantage.
A master engineer doesn't have anything sharp laying around to puncture a balloon with.
No. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights.
You could say it put the shoe on the other foot.
On the other Ballon.
Oh dear. We desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there was some way we could see inside.
You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh! The rope!
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope?
Is he going to lasso it like a bull? Mr. Sholmes has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope.
All right, I have to admit, that was clever.
Almost like there's a writer behind it.
So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down to us on the ground.
Which is much easier said than done, I feel. And it could take us a very long time as well.
True. Perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we?
Throw the bolts at it.
A crossbow.
Yes.
Oh, they did pick the bolt.
Andrew!
Or we could, we could stab it with the screwdriver. Do we stab it with a screwdriver?
No, it's the crossbow.
The crowbar.
Oh,
Just like in the
I
real.
wondered if it'd be funny to throw Andrew at it.
Take that!
You're going to be literally using and manhandling some of the evidence. Okay.
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow?
It was found at the scene, in fact. Doing a
And in all-
reconstruction.
That's what I mean.
And, in all likelihood, belongs to Mr. Drebber.
If the man had only brought it away with him that day, he could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this.
I don't think that's the important thing right now, Mr. Shoebs.
Actually, I think you'll find it is most vital that one keeps his shoes securely on his feet. So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside that balloon? There's only one way to find out. Bam!
Bam!
And the dirt is gone.
Helmet.
What
the?
Is that the helmet that was on the dead body? Well, not the dead body, the waxwork.
Oh, that's the prosecutor.
For a second there, Taylor, I was like, what? The prosecutor?
Yes, he's just doing. He's doing a bit.
He's doing the bit again.
doing a bit.
You're just so quick on it that I don't register for a second.
Waxwork.
Wow, that's they really managed to make the wax look like metal, didn't they? Indeed it is. A waxwork head inside a metal mask.
That reminds me of the prisoner mask from Elden Ring.
A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock.
So we can't see the face inside, that means.
Like Bane.
Just a moment. This is the head of a waxwork model. Does that mean? Oh goodness!
I see you've joined the dots, Miss Susato. Excellent.
Ah, of course! The headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Tuspel's model that you'd largely solved.
Well, I mean, don't
It
stroke
was
my
only
ego
the
too
head of the killer that was still missing.
Don't stroke my ego too much, but yes. Indeed it was. But I believe Madame Tuspels will now have to settle her sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous prosecutor. Professor.
Yes.
But why is it here?
This conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Tuspels and returning it, Sans...
Tay?
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 Sans
Tay?
Tay?
Sans Titi.
Sounds teeth.
That sounds dirty.
It does sound dirty.
That's the wrong sound effect. And returning it, sans Tay, earlier today, was none other than Enoch Drebber.
This is incredible. Professor Hairbrain's case and the waxwork abduction they're inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop.
Da 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 da. Yay. We did it. Oh no. Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure.
Architect?
Think about it for a moment, Mr. Sato. Come on, work with me.
I'm sorry, you've lost me.
You mean Mr. Drebber?
Honestly, Mrs. Otto, I'm quite disappointed for Mr. Ryanosuke to have actually come to the conclusion. I thought you were better than that. As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights, obviously, Taylor was right. The man must still be here in the room.
What?
And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this deduction, allow me to recount the entire thing again.
No!
Enoch Drebber is right here. Somewhere in this room?
Jones.
Oh, sorry, it's because it went to...
Humans are such forgetful creatures,
It's not
forgetting
that.
to read their lines.
It's not that. It's because the light shone on Ryanosuke. I just assumed it was his. Sorry. So, Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors?
Yes, of course. Mr. Drebber's hiding place must be the... Scythe.
Yeah, the bomb.
He was hiding in the bomb the whole time.
I mean, I'm gonna say it's the safe, but it also could be the wardrobe. But I think it's the safe. I think the
No, the wardrobe's got lions and witches in it.
Oh no, not the lions and witches. I think the safe, but the safe is
Because it looks like the safe is connected to the bookshelf.
Yeah.
I bet that if we open it up, there's going to be a passage behind the bookshelf that leads to a secret compartment.
Yeah, why would he be looking for the safe number combination?
yeah.
Take that! Before we gained access to this back room, we heard noises from in here.
Which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time.
He was, in fact, searching for the combination to his safe.
And pressed for time, he made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process. From which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber.
Oh no.
3, 2, 1.
I guess we can do it. Are we gonna do it?
Oh no, no, it's just shown.
Oh, just is at this very moment inside the safe.
Da 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 da.
Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle.
I like to imagine the safe is just like shaking and there's like a sweat drop or something. It's like, nobody's in here!
I think
Go away!
the sweat drop on the safe makes sense. The shaking, I mean, it's bolted to the floor. The whole room would be shaking.
The screws aren't very tight.
I guess
Still
not.
wiggle.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you?
By opening the safe, you mean?
What else?
Let's see. The combination was 1...
432582.
I knew that! All right then. Here goes.
Sorry for trying to help.
Oh dear.
Far less fancy than I had anticipated.
You found me.
How were you breathing in?
It's like Samus.
Yeah,
Morph
the
ball.
morph ball. Oh.
Wait, like a marionette
Oh.
doll.
Oh, that's okay.
And then he's like, check out my sick moves.
He's like, there's a breakdancing shizzle.
check out
Oh,
my
wow.
sick moves, yo.
Oh, I like the tune. I like his tune.
All right then, sir. Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume?
Correct.
You'd better stop talking. You tricked Professor Hairbrain with that bogus machine you built.
And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Tussbells as well.
whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions. Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first.
Why is he waving goodbye?
It's TikTok. Top.
Yes.
Activate.
Top. Your parcel?
I refer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position.
Ah!
Ha! 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 I see. Stunned silence. You're all gearing up to die with me, then.
Oh, I don't like that smile. No!
Kaboom.
Cabum.
Mr. Sholmes! With only 7 seconds to spare!
That was too close for comfort. I've got one foot in the grave already. Are you trying to help us get a killer or get us killed? Mr. Anti-Gravity, who's it, what's it? I ought to shove that right up where the sun don't shine.
Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they?
My dear my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say.
The only thing startling is your lack of intellect, sir.
The only thing.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist!
Phew, I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. Clickety-clackety.
He's pretty cool. I like him.
Spooky. Sephiroth?
Spooky. What on earth happened in here?
You've found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further.
Oh my.
Everything in here is precisely what it seems.
Yeah, well, we'll be giving it a thorough going over, don't you worry, Dreber.
What fails to click with me
Oh!
is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt.
Oh!
Oh, he's gonna be. I can imagine you
The
just
puns.
dying inside.
He's really starting to grind my gears, guys!
This is how Pete feels every time you do a pun.
Oh, no. Not every time.
Most of the
Just
time.
most of them, yeah.
Whistling?
Ah, that would have been me. Eculation, I call it.
Oh!
For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today.
You such a child failure at the window. I just no words, just tightly squeezed chips.
So the mashed potatoes at that point.
Clearly, I must have a screw loose, though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down.
We also found a rope over by the wall.
Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. So, I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe. And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably, though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters.
I was hoping to see that.
And after that, you hid yourself inside the safe? Having first set this parcel ticking.
Well, it worked for Indiana Jones. Why not me? Although I suppose it was a refrigeration device. Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. If you pardon the pun.
That sounds very dirty.
This guy's a real tool! They're really trying to hammer the point in with this one. Not to throw a monkey wrench into the humor! Got a death wish, have you? Hiding right beside the ticking time bomb?
Please. Why do you suppose I chose to hide?
To
I
hid.
guess I am
chose to
broken.
hid.
Why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe. It's specifically designed. A dynam. I'm having a great day, everyone. I'm having a great day.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine, and you're not really fine, and you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
What's the matter, Pete? Were you hammered last night?
I've got a bit of a screw loose, that's all. It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it.
It's plain and apparent for all to see that this character's humor hinges on puns.
Yes.
So, in fact, the safe was the only safe.
Lost him, guys.
What is it? Is
We've
it
lost
is
him.
it the safe safe?
Safety safe.
The safety safe.
The
Safety
only safe place.
So, in fact, the safe was the only safe place.
Man, the puns just keep coming like clockwork!
Why?
Because I pressed the.
Was that the wrong button
Yes,
again?
I used my my water bottle to press the button, and I pressed both at the same time. There we go. There's the correct one. Oh,
Why, did you swear?
yes,
Yes, you did.
I did.
Oh.
Well, there's always one. Precisely.
But once you climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again.
That actually is a good point.
What?
I invite you to look more closely.
Oh dear. Oh, there's a handle.
The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within.
Ah, so it is.
I had always intended to blow this place to smithers in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw with my plans.
I didn't saw that one coming.
That was bad.
Never saw that one coming.
There we go, that's better.
I didn't saw that one coming, which is like, that's just broken English. Pigeoning.
Oh, come on, just nail me down, why don't you?
That's rude.
Do you mean to say
Phrasing.
you were planning to blow us all up?
No. That was unforeseen.
What do you mean?
This is like, allow me to do the robot. Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet.
Ah,
I calculated the time required for retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discoursing here threw a spanner in the works?
nope.
Uh-huh.
Too late. Too late. I already did that one. I already did that one.
Is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face? Besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. And my charming good looks, of course.
I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. What's been going on in here now. But what about the two incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? That has no bearing on my conduct.
That has no bearing.
Professor Harebrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition. And the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to.
That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection. After all...
That's enough.
Oh dear.
What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here.
Yes, well... Dr. Scythe again. So the forensic investigation team are here.
And you know full
Bless you.
well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once!
My dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you.
Don't make me sharpen my scalpel.
After all, there is no need to greet... That's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Scythe?
Hello, Sholmes.
Oh wow, that's how Pete says hi to me.
Oof! That's not true.
Oof!
I log on, get on the voice call. Hello, Taylor.
Jesus. It's because
Mr.
it's because I have to. It takes me a second to remember who I'm talking to. That's why.
Sick burns all around here. Jesus.
Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Scythe.
If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell. You
Get out!
don't mind me. Okay, sorry, fine. But of course, we'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes?
It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today.
But Mr. Sholmes.
Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands.
But is it in the doctor's capable hands?
Well, I think so. It's going to be when we leave, yes.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to find out next time if it is.
What?
And if they do actually leave.
What? No way.
Unfortunately so. Alas, dear viewers, we are out of time once more. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. If you do like what we do, then please consider giving us a like, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and you'll be notified of our video uploads every Wednesday and Saturday.
Yes.
And until next time, we'll see you again.
Catch you in the next one, everybody.
And remember to practice your mechanical puns regularly, or you might get rusty.